You're Artinistrov of the Scions? My thanks for coming, friend. We're stronger for your assistance. Allow me to brief you on our mission. Our objective is to capture Amalja and prize from them the whereabouts of the abductees. The lizard men aren't aware that their man Ungist has been exposed. When they come to the rendezvous point to meet the traitor, we'll spring the trap. Owing to the clandestine nature of this mission, we can deploy only a small contingent. Every member must count, and so we requested the aid of the Scions. The rendezvous will take place at the Invisible City. Please make your way there and lie in wait. We stand to learn much and more of the Amalja plot if the mission succeeds, Artin. Let's make sure it does. Is the bait in place? Our man is in position, sir. Good. We make our move as soon as the Amalja appear. Yes, sir. What is the meaning of this? Wait, something's amiss. Hee hee hee. I'm afraid your little ambush ends here. I eluded the Immortal Flame's clutches for moons before finally being caught. Did you not wonder how I managed it? 'Twas almost as if someone was feeding him information from the inside. Aye, your every movement was known to me ahead of time. Now, as much as I'd love to chat a while, I have appointments to keep. They're all yours. Put up your weapon or your comrade's a dead man. Behind you! Bring him. The rest of you, march! Traitorous scum. The lizards claim they'll soon bring us before Ifrit for tempering. All of us are as good as dead. The The lizard men marched us to their stronghold. They're preparing for something, and I, for one, do not want to be around when they finish. They're gonna kill us, aren't they? Gods, I don't want to die. I want to go home. I fear the Amalja mean to give us to their god as an offering. If I must die, then let me die a soldier's death with steel in hand. Lord of the Inferno, hearken to our plea. Lord of the Inferno, deliver us from our misery. O mighty Ifrit, Lord of the Inferno, your humble servants beseech you, grace us with your divine presence. O mighty Ifrit, we bring before you ignorant savages who know not your godhead. If it please you, Lord, scorch their heathen souls with your cleansing flame and mark them as your own. Bloody hells. Bring those two as well. What's going on? This ain't what we agreed. None but servants of Lord Ifrit may behold the rite of summoning. The souls of unbelievers are forfeit. No, spare me, I beg you. Pitiful children of man, by my breath I claim you. Arise once more as my loyal minions. Feed my flames with your faith, and all who stand against us shall burn. Oh, mighty Ifrit, my one true God. Your words are my bread. Impossible! By what sorcery do you resist my master's will? Could it be? Your soul already belongs to another? Yes, that is the only explanation. Forsooth, thy frail mortal frame can serve as vessel to the blessing of but one. Yet I smell not the taint of another upon thee. The truth of thine allegiance waxeth clear. Thou art of the godless blessed's number. The paragons warned of thine abhorrent kind. Thine existence is not to be suffered. Pray forgive my lateness. I was delayed by a congregation of Amalja zealots. I swear, each seemed more evangelical than the last. Persistent lot. Phew. I see the Bloodsworn wasted no time extracting the captives, no less than I'd expect from the Flame General's hand-picked men. As for those two, it's fair to say that their hardships have only just begun. They have much to answer for. I feel I owe you an apology, Arton. Had I known this mission would prove so dangerous, I would never have let you face it alone. You've been given a veritable baptism of fire. But let us continue this conversation in more agreeable surrounds. Camp Drybone, shall we say? This way, sir. So that was the mighty Ifrit. And what a disappointment he was. The readings are nowhere near what I had anticipated, even taking Ul'Dan interference into account. You should know better than to rely on 5-year-old data left by the 7th Legion. Nor can we expect any form of support from the motherland, given the troubles at court. We have only ourselves to rely upon. Ever the pessimist, my dear Livia. Promise me you'll never change. We've wasted enough time here. That meter of yours is too old to give any reading worth a damn. Not that there was aught worth a damn for it to read, but I take your point. I suppose we must content ourselves with the knowledge that we've achieved our primary objective. Yet I find that I'm troubled by that adventurer's unexpected show of strength. Could such a foe prove a hindrance to our plans? Perhaps, but that is a consideration for another time. You have been given a task. That is your priority. I suggest you treat it as such. Fail to do as my lord commands, and I will spare him the trouble of punishing you. With allies like that. Beware a woman in love. I shall need to be on my best behavior. Ah, there you are, Arton. Come, rest a while. You will have no better opportunity. After witnessing their god's anogamous defeat, the Amalja will be less inclined to risk our wrath, for a time at least. Now, where were we? Ah, yes, I was in the process of apologizing. I do hope you can forgive me. I arrived too late to be of any use, to you or the abductees. They may be whole of body, but the same cannot be said for their minds, for once a man is tempered. Ah, but it ill suits me to dwell on the negatives. Amidst all our misfortunes, there is still reason to rejoice. Ifrit is slain, and by your hand no less. That is the deed of no ordinary individual, Arton, not that I ever thought you were ordinary. On the contrary, I have long suspected that you have the potential to shape the fate of this realm. What can I say? My fine eye for talent remains undimmed. Minfilia will be proud beyond all reckoning when she hears of your deeds. I trust you shan't object to my bearing the tidings to her. That way I can claim to have contributed something to this mission. You, meanwhile, have earned yourself the rest. Take some time to relax and return to the Waking Sands when you're good and ready. We can discuss matters in more detail then. Just don't take too long, will you? Ah, the triumphant hero returns. Thancred told us the news upon his arrival. He is presently in the Solar giving a full report to Lady Minfilia. You should join them at once. Lady Minfilia is most eager to see you. My late arrival nearly cost Arton his life. I wasn't there when the Amalja took him prisoner, and I wasn't there when they served him to Ifrit. Yes, by some miracle he survived, but that does not excuse the fact that he should never have had to face such dangers alone. I failed him utterly. Just as I'm failing you all. What's done is done, Thancred. You can ill blame yourself for every... Arton, it is so good to see you again. Impeccable timing, my friend. I had just finished regaling Minfilia with your heroic exploits. Thancred has told me everything. You have done well to return to us. The perils you faced were undeniably great, yet a part of me believes that I had no cause to fear, and now we can put paid to our long investigation. As we suspected, the Amalja undertook both the robbery and the abductions with the aim of summoning their primal Ifrit. Nor is this tale limited to Ul'dah. Similar incidents have been rife in both Limsa Lominsa and Gridania of late. I dare say you've been curious as to how these crimes are linked to the primals. Permit me to explain. Having manifested in the physical realm, primals must consume ether if they are to maintain their presence here, and the stronger they become, the more ether they require. Now, ether exists throughout creation. It flows through all life and permeates the very air that we breathe. Alas, this alone will not suffice to sustain the likes of Ifrit. Nay, he and his kind require a more concentrated source of ether, crystals. It is for this reason that incidents involving crystals can often be traced back to a primal. Which leaves us with the why of the abductions. To understand this, you must first understand how primals are born. When all is well in the world, primals possess no physical form. Their essence is dispersed across the great river of ether. However, when the world is plunged into chaos, those who worship the primals cry out to their gods for deliverance from suffering. These cries serve as a beacon toward which a primal's essence is irresistibly drawn. It is this coming together, or etheric coalescence, which grants the being's physical form. Once born, a primal gains strength from its followers' worship. The more numerous and fervent they are, the more powerful their god becomes. But the primals are seldom satisfied with such reverence as their adherents freely give, and in order to gain more power, they do not scruple to create followers. They do this by tempering mortals, a process to which yourself were subjected. Yet even as Ifrit took your comrades in his thrall, you alone remained unaffected. This is thanks to the power you possess, the Echo. We know not the why of it, but those blessed with the Echo are immune to primal influence. It is as though a greater power protects us. When first you came to us, I told you that the Echo would be instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. I trust you now begin to see why. The recent incidents all share a common trait, meticulous planning. Such elaborate designs are a new development and one which fills me with an unshakable sense of foreboding. While I share your concern, my presiding feeling is one of relief at your safe return. The Immortal Flames assured me that they will deal with the aftermath, so you need not concern yourself with that. We may rest easy for a time. I suggest you take full advantage of the respite, Arton. You may be sure it won't last long. Once the people learn the identity of the hero who felled Ifrit, I fear you will have nary a moment to yourself. Whether she intended to or not, Minfilia neglected to tell you something I think it would be best you heard from one of us. It concerns the tempered abductees that were rescued. I am sorry to report that all are to be put to death, the flames with whom you were imprisoned included. Needless to say, this information must not be made known to the public. I swear to you that we would not do this if there were any other recourse, but once a man is tempered, he is tempered for life. His very existence lends strength to the primal whom he cannot choose but to worship. And so we Scions continue our fight, that no more innocents need be sacrificed. I hope that you will continue to stand with us, Arten. But I should be going. I must offer my apologies to the Flame General for the losses his people suffered. Till next time. Gods forgive me. How many more lives? Louisoix would never have allowed this to happen. I have to do better. I have to be stronger. Until not so very long ago, you were but one of many adventurers seeking to make their way in Eorzea, but for your character and courage you were raised to the esteemed post of envoy. Thereafter you traveled the realm, aiding those in need without thought of reward, confirming to Y'shtola that the Scions would benefit from your aid, and no sooner that you had joined us than you personally bested the primal Ifrit. You have achieved a great deal in a short time, and won fame in doing so. Alas, fame does not come without a price, as you will soon discover. We have guests, Arten, or rather, you have guests. Beg pardons! Lady Minfilia, radiant as always. I am given to understand that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have but recently welcomed a new hero into their midst. I am here on behalf of the Maelstrom Grand Company of Limsa to offer said hero a place of honor within our ranks. As you can see, Arten, your recent exploits have garnered you the attentions of the Grand Companies of Eorzea. Each organization would have Ifrit's bane for its own. To this end, all three have sent officers to court you. They would not ordinarily go to such lengths to enlist a new recruit. That they have is evidence of their high regard for you. I find myself wondering how word of Arten's deeds spread so quickly. Your reputation precedes you, Master Histrov. 'Tis no ordinary man who could face a primal and emerge the victor. The Order of the Twin Adder has need of valiant men such as you. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us ensure that peace ever reigns in the Twelve's will. What a pleasure it is to finally meet you, Master Histrov. My comrades speak of you in the most glowing terms. A man of your talent belongs with the immortal flames. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us secure a prosperous future for Ul'dah. The Admiral was not exaggerating when she said you have the look of a hero. Full often does she speak of you, friend, as do many others in Limsa. Long before the rest of Eorzea took note, your name was well known to us, owing to your valorous deeds to our citizens. It is only natural that we should want you for the Maelstrom. Join your strength to ours, and together let us see the grand vessel of Limsa to the shores of glory. Lady Minfilia. Very well. Though I am quite sure you need no reminding, mayhap a brief summary of the situation will help to clarify your thoughts on this matter. As you know, the Grand Companies are all-encompassing organizations empowered to call upon the martial, economic, and technological resources of their respective city-states in times of strife. There are presently 3 such organizations in Eorzea: the Maelstrom of Limsa Limitsa, the Order of the Twin Adder of Gridania, and the Immortal Flames of Ul'dah. Serving a Grand Company means serving the nation to which it belongs. You will be charged with its defense and tasked with advancing its cause. In return for your faithful service, you will be furnished with various rewards, some of which may well prove useful to you in your other endeavors. If you are agonizing over which of the Grand Companies best deserves your loyalty, be at ease. The commitment you make this day need not be permanent. Should you wish to shift your allegiance at a later date, you are entitled to do so, and yet I concede that it is no small choice you face. A thought occurs to me. You will, of course, recall that the 3 city-states are planning to hold remembrance services. Well, as part of the proceedings, I am given to understand that the leader of each Grand Company will deliver an address. Hearing these addresses ought to help you make an informed decision. What say you, my dear officers? A fine suggestion. You are as wise as you are beautiful, my lady. Very well, let Arton hear our leader speak, then return here with his decision. We eagerly await your answer. I know full well that adventurers are by their nature a liberty-loving breed, and not best suited to the discipline of military service, but I strongly urge you to join a Grand Company nonetheless. While the promise of reward is enticing in itself, it is not the only benefit. You are possessed of great power, Arton, and with it you are capable of doing untold good. Yet know that great power is wont to attract attention, not all of it friendly. There will be those who wish you ill, and you must needs be on the lookout for them. Yet however vigilant you are but one man. In the midst of a Grand Company, however, you will be one man among many, a friend amongst friends. Your achievements will be shared, and so will the danger. I can think of no better arrangement. Of course, joining one organization need not mean leaving another. I hope that we can continue to rely upon your aid. The 12 know that we will have need of it in the days ahead. The Grand Companies seek to protect their own nations. We Scions, on the other hand, seek to preserve the future of Eorzea as a whole. Similar, yet not quite the same. Now then, I expect that you will be afield more often in the future. As such, I would have you carry this link pearl with you at all times. It will allow us to stay in touch regardless of location. Eorzea is changing, Arton, and you have the power to help shape it anew. None can say what the morrow will bring, but so long as we believe in ourselves, there is naught we cannot achieve. Now, it is time you made ready for your journey. Before you depart, be sure to speak to Tataru. She will apprise you as to where and when the remembrance services are due to take place. I'm sorry about all the attention you're getting, Arton. I might have sung your praises a little too loudly and often to a few too many people. Next time I'll be sure to hold my tongue, literally if necessary. Anyway, I expect you want to know where and when the remembrance services are taking place. If all goes to plan, Gridania's Grand Company, the Order of the Twin Adder, will hold the first of the 3 services, and Elder Seedseer Khan Esena will deliver her address at Mikado's amphitheater. I should probably mention at this point that due to the organizational challenges involved in assembling all of the involved parties, it's possible that the order of the services might change. Still, there's not much we can do about that, so make Gridania your first port of call. Next, you'll need to go to Old Da, where the Flame General Raoban Alden will be addressing the masses at the Royal Promenade. Oh, and it's rumored there will be a special guest. How exciting! Last but not least, you must make your way to the stateroom in Limsa Laminsta, where Maelstrom Chief Admiral Merwin will be giving her address. The room is accessible via the Admiral's lift. Identify yourself to the sentry, Xanthal, and he will admit you. Got all that? Well, off you go then. I hope you find the remembrance services suitably educational. I suggest visiting the city-states in my prescribed order, though with your record of impeccable timing and luck, the schedule may well change in favor of your preferred travel plans. Farewell.